Hi guys, this is your main Max, aka Max. Welcome back to another video on the channel. So today, right, we're actually gonna talk about how to deal with constant pressure. Is also chemistry, right, really that important in building a team? Of course, we're also gonna go through, right, the tactics that actually got me 16 wins in champs. Now, many of you, right, actually know me from lots of like trading and market videos, but I'm actually pretty good at the game myself. I've been playing this game for 8 years now, so I do know what I'm talking about, right, in regards to tactics, right, as well as which players are meta and why they are meta. I've actually tested these tactics out, right, for the past few weeks, and I've actually made changes to them. So right now, right, when I'm filming this, right, it's about 1 month, right, after the full release of the game. So these tactics have been tested for like close to a month now. So I can guarantee you guys, right, if you use these tactics, right, you will get at least, right, 2 to 3 more wins in champs. So I'll talk about the tactics itself first, and then I'll talk about what are some of the players, right, that are actually really suitable, right, for this formation. Now, first thing is first, right, what you want to be doing right now, right, at the very start of the game, whatever kind of starting formation that you have, right, 4-4-2, 4-2-4, 4-2-3-1, whatever, right, what you want to be doing, right, is going to your custom tactics, right, and adjusting this in the very first place. So why this is important, right, it's because, right, at the start of the game, right, whichever tactics that you choose to change to, right, the game, right, actually takes quite a while, right, to change to whatever formation that you want, right. So take for example, if I'm starting out in this starting formation of 4-2-4, right, and I want to actually go to my formation of 4-2-3-1 ultra defensive, right, the game will take quite a while to register. So this is really important, right, especially for you to stop conceding kickoff goals, which are very apparent in this game, right, the kickoff glitch. So you want to be doing balance with 40, depth 39, slow build up to actually make it a little bit more defensive, I would say, for this formation. You actually let yourself have some kind of control. Balance and 50 with, right, of course you don't really want too many players, right, going forward because we're actually trying to stop the kickoff glitch. Corners and free kicks, right, should be on 2. So doesn't really matter, right, what is your starting formation for chemistry purposes, right. These are the instructions as follows. Goalkeeper, right, come for crosses as well as sweeper keeper. For your both fullbacks, right, you have stay back while attacking as well as overlap so that you don't actually get caught out. The center halves, right, you can leave them on default. Your central midfielders, right, has got to be stay back while attacking, cover center, as well as stay on the edge of box for crosses, right. This is to defend your central midfield area. Your wingers come back on defense, get into the box for crosses, as well as get in behind for both. Your strikers stay central, get in behind, as well as come back on defense. So again, right, this is a very kind of like defensive starting formation, right, to make sure that you don't get caught out on the kickoff glitch, right. This is super important, I would say. All these little details, right, they add up at the end. So the first actual formation, right, that we are actually going to go into, right, we have 4 formations, right. We'll go through them one by one, and then I'll tell you guys, right, when I use which formation. So usually, right, the very first formation that I start out with, right, at the very beginning of the game, right, it's always 4-2-3-1. Now this formation, right, is the most balanced formation in the game, right. 4-2-3-1 has always been the most balanced formation in the game, right, for FIFA in a very long time, right. And this year, right, it's no different. This is a very good tactic, right, to kind of suss out your opponents, right, as to whether they are actually better than you, right. This formation is also really effective when you play opponents, right, that are better than you, right. You probably would know after the first like 15-20 minutes of in-game minutes, you would know. So these are the tactics itself, right. Balance for the defensive style with 47, depth 39. So for the build-up play, right, now long ball, right, it's actually, I would say, probably, right, the best build-up play that you can have. Some people like fast build-up, right, but I think that long ball, right, it's actually the best simply because of the fact that they actually, right, help your players make runs in behind the defense. Especially, right, if you're somebody who doesn't use L1, right, to send your players on a run manually, this long ball tactic, right, actually does it for you automatically, right. So for chance creation, we're gonna have forward runs, right, basically to make the players, right, go into open space. Now for width, right, we're actually gonna go with low width in this formation in 4-2-3-1. You can, of course, right, activate hug the sidelines if you think that this formation is a little bit too narrow. right? It's actually on your D-pad, right? You can actually do that on in the game itself. Players in box, we're gonna put to 6. Now corners and free kicks, right? I'd say if you don't want to get caught out, especially with corner kicks, right, you can go for 2, right? Personally, I'm gonna go for 3. Free kicks, right? I think 3 is good enough, right? I don't think it's way easier to get caught out on corners than free kicks. The actual instructions itself. For the goalkeeper, come for crosses, sweeper keeper. For the fullbacks, stay back while attacking as well as overlap. For your central midfielders, right, cut passing lane, stay back while attacking, and cover center. Right, I think this is the most balanced formation. Of course, if you're somebody who's really good at the game, right, you can actually leave one on balance attack, right, the more box-to-box midfielder. But if you're not somebody who's that great at defending, then I would say just do stay back while attacking. For the left wingers and right wingers, right, we're just going to leave them on default, right, not going to change anything. Your cam, stay forward, get into the box for crosses. For your central striker, stay central, get in behind, as well as your stay forward. So, the second formation that I want to go through, right, is the 4-3-2-1 formation. Now, this formation, right, it's really good, right, if you're somebody who really likes to kind of control the midfield, right, kind of play like a tiki-taka kind of a football. This is an ideal formation for you. So, we're going to go balance, 47 width, 60 depth, right? For the build-up play this time, right, we're actually going to have balance instead of long ball because, like I mentioned, right, this formation is more about control of the game, right, control of their midfield. Chance creation, we're going to get forward runs with 30. Players in box, we're going to set it to 7. Now, for the instructions, comes for crosses and sweeper keeper for your goalie. Stay back while attacking and overlap for both your left back and right back. Now, you have to put your more defensive central midfielder, right, in this very center slot. Stay back while attacking, cover center, and stay on the edge of box for crosses, right? This is very important for your central CDM. And then, right, we have another 2 central midfielders, right, either side of your CDM. So for the more defensive central midfielders, stay back while attacking, get into the box for crosses, as well as cover center, right? These other midfielder, right, will be the more attacking one. Usually, right, it's gonna be your cam. So in my case, in my team, right, it's Lionel Messi. Get forward, get into the box for crosses, as well as cover center. Now, players that are really suitable for this kind of formation or tactics, right, in this particular role, right, are the likes of your Dybala, Griezmann, right, Zidane, if you can afford him. All these are really good players, right, that have very good attacking AI, right? Bernardo Silva, Goku, right? All these players. So, for your wingers, right, we're gonna get in behind, stay forward for both your left wingers and right wingers. For your central striker, stay forward, get in behind, and stay central. So, I would say, right, this formation, right, is probably one of the formations that are very good for tiki-taka, and this is usually the formation that I go to, right, if I feel like I can dominate my opponent, right, after moving from, after starting with a 4-2-3-1. Now, the next formation, right, is the 3-5-2 formation. So this formation, right, it's actually really meta, right, at the start of FIFA 23, right, if you guys can remember. And it actually, right, still has a really huge role to play, right, in the current game itself. If you guys know, right, EA, right, has actually banned all 5-back formations, right, for their pro tournaments. This means that, right, the 5 backs, right, are still super overpowered, especially, right, on your new gen. So let's move on and talk about the tactics itself. Balance, 55 width and 60 depth, right? Build up play, we're going to have long ball, chance creation, forward runs. For width, right, we're actually going to put it down at about 25. Right? Again, you can stretch this out, right, by activating the D-pad tactics, right? Hug the sidelines. For players in box, right, it's actually going to be 7. Corners and free kicks are going to be on 2. Right, so let's go to the instructions. Comes for crosses and sweeper keeper for your goalie. Right, do not touch the 3 center backs. Most definitely, right, for your center halves, right, you want to be putting the faster center half, right, either as a right center back or left center back. For the central center back, right, this center back should be the one that has lower acceleration. CDMs, right, cut passing lanes, stay back while attacking, and cover center, pretty standard. For your left wing back and right wing back, come back on defense, get in behind, and get into the box for crosses. So ideally, right, for your left wing back and right wing back, right, you want to be putting players, right, that have high work rates, right. That is the most ideal. For your cam, stay forward, get into the box for crosses. Now for your two central strikers, stay central, get in behind, as well as stay forward. So what happens is when you actually counter attack, right, you would always have that 3 players right up top, that kind of like a triangle. So you should always right format your attacks when using this formation right in kind of like a triangle kind of formation, if you guys know what I'm saying, right? So that is something that you guys can do. I usually switch to this formation right when I feel like I'm lacking width, right? After I use these two formations, right, I realize that I cannot break down my opponents, right? I'm a shift to 3-5-2. Just make sure that when you have the ball, right, and you're using 3-5-2, right, try not to, try to watch out for the counter attacks, right? Opponents usually like to spam like lock through balls, right, down the wings when they are counter attacking. Just look out for that. Now, when I'm losing 1-0, 2-0, or 3-0, right, I'll actually switch to this 4-2-2 formation. I think that it's actually very, very effective, right, in trying to get back into the game. So for defensive style, press after possession loss with 55, depth 71, right, the famous depth 71. Now this depth 71 thing, right, it's actually really, really apparent, right, on new gen, not so much on old gen, right. It actually really freezes your opponent up really, really high. But at the same time, right, I have to say, right, it's actually really dangerous for you, right. If you're somebody who don't really know how to defend and you use this, right, you're actually gonna get very exposed, right, at the back, right. Opponents can just play through you very easily, right, once you miss that initial press with this formation or with this depth. Build up play, fast build up, right, because we're just going for fast offensive. And then chance creation balance with 40, players in box 7, right, corners and free kicks on 2. Now let's go on to the instructions. Goalkeeper, right, comes for crosses as well as sweeper keeper. For your fullbacks, we're still sticking to step back while attacking and overlap. If you want your fullbacks to be more attacking, right, go to the D-pad, right, and activate attacking fullbacks, right. For your central midfielders, right, we have step back while attacking and cover center, right. We no longer have cut passing lane on the two of them. For the left wingers and right wingers, just get into the box for crosses, right. No comeback on defense because we're trying to get back into the game. Basically, the idea of this formation, right, is to try to pin your opponent, right, in his own half, right, to actually have as many attacking players as possible, right, to exert pressure on him. Now, for your strikers, right, your cam, right, in my case is Lionel Messi, right, just stay central and stay forward. For your main striker, the one that's gonna be putting the ball in the back of the net, right, stay central, get in behind, and stay forward. So these are the instructions for it, right. I already went through when I would use the different tactics and formations. Now, let's move on, right, to the kind of players, right, that are suitable, right, for this formation. So let's move on to the goalkeeper first, right. So for me, I've been using Oblak for a really long time, right, 300 games. I think he's pretty good, right. He is pretty big in goal, right. However, right, goalkeepers are kind of broken in this game, whereby they're kind of like, sometimes they just can't even catch the ball. So yeah, sometimes it happens with Oblak as well, but after the recent patch, right, he has been better. So some of the better goalkeepers, right, are the likes of your Courtois and your Ter Stegen. I think those are the really, really good goalkeepers that you should be looking at. Your right backs, right, I have been using Llorente for quite a while now. I'd say that he's pretty decent, right. You can have the likes of Jonathan Klaus as well as another right back. He's pretty good as well. And also we have the likes of Hakimi. Also, I've been using him. Very, very good player. And then some of the rest of the right backs are like João Cancelo, right? And without a shadow of a doubt, right, your best right back, I would say, in the game right now, right, your goal right back at least, right, it's actually Kyle Walker, right? Super fast and super strong. And right now, right, he's actually, not that expensive. So these are the right backs that you want to be going for. Left back, I've been using Jordi Alba, but definitely the usual suspects are there, right? Mendy is great, right? Not this Mendy, right? The left back Mendy is great. Great for links as well, right? This guy is really, really good. 4-star, 5-star, right? Even the base goal version is good enough. So this is the one that I think maybe not a lot of you, right, would know, right? Karaguchi, right? If that's how you pronounce, right? Really, really meta fullback, right? 4-star, French PSG, right? Fantastic links. And then, of course, we have Fonzie Davies as well, right? He's also another player, right, that is very, very good at fullback. Fonzie Davies, Bayern links as well. Perhaps, right, I would say the best left back in the game, right, or goal left back, right, it's actually your Theo Hernandez. fantastic, right? He has that, huge body frame, fantastic, right, for defending. In fact, right, if you can swap him to center back, right, I think he's actually a really good center back as well, right? So those are your fullback options. Now, for center backs, right, of course, right, your best goal center back, without a shadow of a doubt, is Virgil van Dijk, right? I played with him so many times. I played against him a lot of times, actually. Possibly the most auto defender in the game, even though his acceleration is, kind of low. And what you want to be looking at in this year's game, right, is for your center backs, right, to have the bruiser play style, anticipate, block, and jockey, right? If you have all four, right, they're actually going to be super duper crazy, right, in game. I would say, right, especially your anticipate and your jockey play style, right? Not a lot of center backs has this, so look out for this. Another center back that I've been using quite frequently, right, is actually Varane. Now, this guy, right, for me is the second best goal center back in the game after Virgil van Dijk. Definitely, right, just super duper meta, right? He just gets the ball, right, all the time, and he's always at the right place at the right time. So some of the other good center halves, right, we have the likes of Koundé. So if you're somebody, right, who likes to defend with your center half, right, this is the guy for you, right? He has the jockey, right, as his play style plus. So this is, he's fantastic. The Trailblazer, I would say, right, is worse, even though he has, higher overall rating, simply because of the fact that his playstyle plus, right, is slide tackle and not jockey, right? The reason why Koundé is so good is because when you switch to him, right, he jockeys super duper fast. So if you're a manual defender, right, this guy will be top notch for you. Now, some other center halves that are great, right, is the likes of your Adam Militao, right? Adam Militao, fantastic. Again, fantastic center half. Great Madrid links. And then we also have, I also really have lots of trouble, right, when I play against Saliba as well, right? Fantastic. Again, we have so many French center backs in the game. As you guys can see, right, we went through quite a lot, right? He does have the, jockey as well as the anticipate playstyle as well, right? Araujo is also pretty solid, even though I would say, right, he is not as great as in previous years. Still good, but, not that great. So as you guys can see, right, all the meta center backs that I went through, right, most of them have at least 3 of these important traits that I talked about, right? The bruiser, anticipate, block, as well as jockey, right? They usually have at least 3. So those are your defenders, right? Let's go to, I would say, right, perhaps the most important position, right, in your central midfield, that CDM slot. So I know a lot of you, right, when I do team reviews on stream, right, I realize that lots of you, right, have this problem of not having a out-and-out CDM, right? So it's so important to have that CDM because, right, you need some protection, right, for your center halves. Just think of it as, in RL football, right, when Casemiro doesn't play for Man United, right, there's a big difference because there is no good other CDM, right, that plays for United, right? We try to play Eriksen there, we try to play McTominay there. In years past, we try to play Fred there, right? It doesn't work. In FIFA, right, it's the same thing. You need an out-and-out CDM just to win the ball back for you, just to protect your back four, right? This is, I would say, right, the most important role in the team. Now, some good players, right, I've been using Rabiot. Not that ideal, quite frankly, right? You guys know, right? Medium is actually a terrible work rate, right? Especially for CDM. But for Rabiot, he does compensate, right, with that physical presence, right, in the middle of the midfield. He has really long reach. So that is the reason why I still use him there. And of course, right, he's French, right? On a budget, he's fantastic. Now, some of the better CDMs, right, that you can find in the game, right, are the likes of your N'Golo Kante. So like I mentioned, ideally, right, the work rates has got to be medium high at the very minimum, right? So he will be really, really good for, winning the ball back at that central midfield area. Tonali is another one who's actually really good. Again, another medium high work rate player, right? Medium high, right, just gives you that perfect balance, right, in that central of midfield that I think that you would definitely need. And then we have Frankie de Jong as well. Right, Frankie de Jong, always fantastic. His dribbling is also very, very good in game, right? He's high medium, I know, but he sits in that central midfield slot, right, very, very well. So, right, sometimes, right, they play above their stats or they play above their work rates simply because, right, of the way that, EA programs them. Frankie de Jong is definitely one of them. He might be high medium, but I can tell you, right, he's everywhere in the midfield because of his attacking and defending AI. He's actually really, really good in game. For those on a lower budget, right, Bruno G is another that you can look at. Again, fantastic CDM. And then also, right, we have Many. If you need that physical presence in game, right, this is the guy for you. And of course, right now, right, you can actually evo him. He might be 3-3, but he's fantastic in game, right? Gives you that Madrid and French link. So those are your CDMs. Now for your box to box, right, I have used Jude for quite a while now, right? I just packed him recently. Fantastic box to box midfielder. Definitely, right, you can feel his presence in that central midfield area. Comes back to defend really well. He also, right, goes forward a lot. So definitely one of the best box-to-box midfielders in the game, right? Another very good box-to-box midfielder, right, is actually his Madrid teammate, Fede Valverde. Again, another fantastic card. 3-star, 4-star, high work rate, right? Fantastic stats all around. And we also have the addition of new players as well, right? For those on a higher budget, Putialas, insane attacking AI. I've used her at the very start of the game. She's 5-star, 5-star as well. I don't think that you can complain much. Just make sure that you play a more defensive midfielder right beside her, but she does get back very well also. And her Barca teammate, right, Patrick Guerrero, right, is also another card that is actually fantastic, right? So all these are all your good box-to-box midfielders. You want somebody who can defend and attack, right, in this position. Now on the wings, right, DRB probably, right, even at this stage of the game, right, he remains, one of the best wingers, right, at running in behind. He is super duper rapid, right? Definitely, right, the pace feels like 99. Of course, right, his finishing might be a little bit sus sometimes, but, he's somebody that I think, right, is still really, really meta. I have Rodrigo Trailblazer as well. I think he's also pretty good. Not as fast as DRB running in behind, but his dribbling, right, is definitely very, very good, right? His R1 dribbling, if you're somebody who knows how to do that, right, is fantastic for you. And of course, we have the usual suspects, right? The likes of your Dembele. Dribbling, fantastic, right? The skill moves come off fantastic as well, right? Just don't expect Dembele, right, to score when he, gets an open net and stuff. He has issues with his finishing. He has for a very long time now, but fantastic for people who love skill moves, right? I think another good player is Riyad Mahrez as well, right? We have more Saudi hype this year. 5-star, 4-star, medium attacking work rate. But, if you're a skiller, right, Mahrez is fantastic for you. Coleman is another one that's actually really good as well, right? 5-star, 3-star, again, medium attacking work rate. Not that ideal, but he's pretty quick in behind the lines. And then, of course, we have the likes of your Kubo, right? We have the Trailblazer version, and we also have the POTM, right? I think either or, right, it's actually very, very good. Again, very, very quick in behind. Fantastic player, right? And then some of your other ones, right? At the start of the game, we have the likes of Rodman as well, right? So she's fantastic, right, for her price, even though she's just an 84 rated, right? We usually use her for that link to Alex Morgan. So those are all your good wingers, right? We have the likes of Sane and Mane, right? That's really, really good as well. Now, the second most important position in your team, perhaps, I would say, is that cam position, right? And in this position, right, I always say that in FIFA, right, the most difficult position to fill, right, it's actually that cam slot, because a lot of players are not intelligent enough. The AI is not good enough to make that movement, right, to link your midfield and your attack, right, up. There's actually only, right, a very, very small pool of players, right, in this position. So I would say this is the second most important position in your team, right, after that CDM slot, because you do not want, right, to be carrying a passenger, right, in this position whereby, his attacking AI is not intelligent enough, right? You're playing with 10 men. So this position is really, really important. Messi is fantastic for that cam position. He does have the low work rates, right? Not very ideal. However, I would say that he definitely, right, is very, very intelligent, right, in game. His attacking AI, just like how he plays IRL, right? So that is something that you can think about. And definitely, right, I would say my favorite in this position, right, is Antoine Griezmann, right? This guy's attacking AI, right, even the base goal version, right, I can tell you, right, is second to none, right? I would say he has one of the most intelligent attacking AIs, right, in the game. He knows when to come back. He knows when to push up, right? Even, right, when you play him as a one of three central midfielders, right, in a 4-3-2-1 formation, in a 4-1-2-1-2 formation, right, this guy is going to be everywhere on the pitch for you. Definitely, right, one of the best cards in the game right now. We also have Paulo Dybala as well. I think he's also really, really good. Fantastic. Again, fantastic attacking AI. 4-star, 3-star. I would say probably in terms of attacking AI in that cam position, right, I would say that he's, probably the second best, right, after Griezmann in the game in terms of the base version. And then we have Nkunku, right? Nkunku doesn't have that intelligent and attacking AI compared to Greasy and Dybala, but he's still pretty good because of that 5-star skill moves, right? And right now he's also pretty cheap. We also have the likes of, for those on the tighter budget, right? Bernardo Silva's attacking AI is also crazy. I would say probably the third best in the game behind Griezmann and Dybala. When he does get a special card, this guy is absolutely, right, a must-have. And then we also have Donovan as well, right? Pretty cheap, around 50k based on the current market prices. He's a hero, so you get full cam. Medium, doesn't really bother him too much. And of course, right, we also have the likes of your Neymar, right? I think Neymar is also a really, really good cam. Intelligent enough AI, 5-star, right? This season, he's actually cheaper because of being in the Saudi League. And of course, right, the king of them all, right, the best cam in the game, right, is of course Zinedine Zidane, who's actually super duper expensive. Again, his medium attacking ball rate is definitely a lie. AI movement is the best, I would say the best in the game, even above the likes of Griezmann and Dybala. Now, for your strikers, right, because of how inconsistent the finishing is, right, especially in the new gen of the game, right, you need strikers, right, that can finish. Hopefully, right, you have strikers that has really high shot power. So for me, right, definitely 79 shot power is not good enough. The reason why I have Dani, right, is because of chemistry, as well as, I just don't want to spend too much coins on the team itself, right, but she's really great for me. You want to be looking for players like Benzema, right, who can really, really finish, right? Fantastic player this year in the Saudi League again, right? With strikers, I would say, right, you don't really need to be too obsessed with the pace, right? If his pace is close to 80, right, but his attacking AI is good enough, right, he will do, right? So somebody like Benzema fits the bill. And of course, we have my guy, Mr. Son, right? Again, fantastic in this year game because he has the most OP playstyle plus, which is the finesse shot. Right, for those of you who love to, do the mechanic stuff, right, he's fantastic from outside the box when you shoot. Definitely has one of the most lethal finishing, right, in the game. And I think a lot of people, right, are actually sleeping on the likes of your Alex Morgan as well, right? I've used her at the start of the game. Again, a very fantastic card. Fantastic dribbling with fantastic, shots. She also has the finesse shot as her playstyle plus, right? So these are all the strikers, right, that will do really well for you. Now, let's talk about how do you deal with constant pressure, right? How do you deal with constant pressure? Let's say you're leading in a game, right? 1-0, 2-0, right? Whatever. What you want to be doing, right, is usually, right, I would say, right, the two best formations to deal with constant pressure, right, is the 4-2-3-1 or the 4-4-2. What you want to be doing, right, is stretching the pitch, right, as wide as possible. What are we doing, right, if I am under constant pressure, right? I'll be switching to the 4-2-3-1 formation and I'll be activating, right, hug the sidelines, right? Same for the 4-4-2. And also, right, having long ball, right, means that you're going to stretch out your opponent's defense, right? So this will all help, right, in dealing with constant pressure. Another way for you to deal with constant pressure, right, is to press R1 for players on PS to actually ask your players, right, to come short, to come nearer to the ball, so that you can actually, right, retain possession of the ball. That's also another way of coping with constant pressure. Now, let's move on, right, and talk about how important is chemistry. You guys can see, right, why is it that I only have 25 chemistry on my team, but, I still managed to get 16 wins with this team, right, with this kind of chemistry. So, I would say, right, chemistry is important, but it's not as important as, take for example, right, let's say, right, I have Coquelin, correct? I could very well put him in for Rabiot, right, and I get an additional 4 chemistry. But why do I choose to have Rabiot as my CDM? Because Coquelin's AI, defensive AI, right, is just not that great despite having that high defensive work rate. He just feels like a passenger in game, like I mentioned, right? And as a central midfielder, that CDM spot, you cannot compromise. You need that central midfielder that protects your center halves. So that's the reason why I think that, Rabiot is more important. So put it this way, right? Long story short, I would rather have a meta player on lower chemistry than a non-meta player on higher chemistry, right? I would say, right, I would even take Rabiot, right, on like 1 camp over Coquelin, right, on 3 camp, right? That is how I think it should be. Having meta players, right, it's more important than having higher chemistry. Another thing, right, that I would like you guys to know, right, is actually, right, I got 16 wins, right, without abusing any of the mechanics. I don't do finesse shot or trivela shots outside the box. I don't do corner glitches. I don't do your lock through balls in behind. No crosses as well, right? Not all that, nonsensical stuff. What I do, right, is I just play normal basic football. Normal passing, couple of skill moves, right? I send players running in behind. I do use R1 dribbling as well. Basically, how I think, right, football should be played, right? IRL, I just do that. So you don't have to abuse mechanics, right, to get a high win percentage in the game. I don't want to go on and on. It's been a really long video. If you guys actually enjoy this kind of video, right, do let me know down in the comment section below, because this video is, of course, right, focused more on the tactical side of the game, right, as well as the gameplay side of the game. So if you guys want to see more of such content, do let me know. And also, do let me know, right, how many wins you get in your weekend league, right, before using my tactics and formation, and how many wins more do you get, right, after using my tactics and formation. That's all for me, man. If you guys enjoyed the video, hit the like button, right? If you guys want to see more content like this, do let me know, and I'll see you guys soon. All right, take care, guys.